food. How does food fit into what we do? You've heard a lot about pubs in the last few years about food offerings, and pubs can't make money because without food, and you need to be more food leaning, you can't just be wet led. And it is true to a degree. I don't think that the narrative is quite right. I think you can still have a wet led pub, but you do need to have a strong food offering. And what is a strong food offering? Well, this has been the problem with the narrative. You can't make money without food. We kept being told this in the pub sector, in the pub and bar sector, but a lot of people didn't put a lot of time and thought into what that offer is and whether that offer can make money, because food is incredibly expensive to produce. It's a lot more expensive to produce than the wet side of our business. Essentially, with draft beer, you buy draft beer and you put it in your cellar. There are some regulations around it. You serve it, it comes out the tap. There's no such thing as an unskilled job, but being a bartender has different skills to being a chef. With a food offering, the regulations are greater, the costs are greater, you have to produce it, so the skill sets are higher for your staff, labour costs are higher, food costs are higher. We've seen massive food inflation, certainly since the troubles in the last few years and certainly since COVID. So when we looked at our food offerings within our venues, we had to be cute and clever about how we do it, and we came up with a model that sits outside of our pubs but services our pubs. So it's a standalone arm of our operation that vertically integrates or integrates within our operations. So what do you mean by that? So we have three main food brands. We have a supplementary food brand as well, but we have three main food brands. They are RGB, that's Really Good Burgers, which is a smash burger food brand. We have Get Dipped, which is for those in the know, a French dip baguette food brand. And we also have Franktown Dogs, which is essentially a Chicago dog style hot dog brand. Not cheap hot dogs that you get for £1 in IKEA. These are gourmet beef hot dogs, which is our third brand. Now, the way that we position these is that they exist essentially as pop-ups within some of our venues. So you might see one of these brands popped up in a venue to service the clientele there, or they could be mobile. You might go to a festival and see one of our brands. We have all the kit to make them mobile. We have food trailers, we have gazebo setups, we have the associated technology that allows us to go mobile on whether there's an electricity supply or not, to go and service somebody in the outdoor area, a bike show, a community event. So they exist there. Maybe at a private event, maybe if you're getting married, Some of them, Get Dipped especially, also has a standalone unit of its own over in St Nicholas Market in the middle of Bristol. The reason we set it up like that, instead of doing just your pub classics menu within your venue, is quite simple. We can have a food arm that has its own P&L, that has its own profit and loss. Essentially, we can monitor its labour. We can use all of our food operations over here to get better economies of scale with our supplier. So we can make our cost of goods more efficient, our labour's more efficient. We can generate revenue that is external to us. So, as I said, the mobile arm of this is external to our venues, so we can use others' marketing reach to put our brand out there. So the bike show that has 15,000 people coming to it, we can collaborate with them. Say we're on site. Those 15,000 people, some of them come and use us, they get to know our brand. That feeds back into here. Oh yeah, RGB, that's happening at the Coliseum in Bristol. We should go there. We really enjoyed that burger that we had at the bike show. Similarly, Get Dipped, that sits here, has its own standalone venue. It has its own cash generation part. That feeds into here to make this food division, if you want to call it such, more efficient. Luca, who essentially runs this part for us, our executive chef, he has more visibility on his labour. He can use his labour across all these different iterations. He can send somebody to a venue the one day, they can have 3 days out, they can go and cover holiday over here. So we can have better visibility on that. It's really important to have this flexibility within because we have so many sites, to have this flexibility that we can make food work for us. We can integrate it into every part of what we do, and therefore we don't lose any money. We make money, because that's the point, isn't it? Making money. Yeah, it's not the only point. There's other good things. All of our food brands work really well. They're all really high quality. They have to work well as a standalone. You can't just have a manky pie and chips that you bought for the cheapest amount of money from your food services provider over here and expect your customers to be satisfied with that. If we put a pop-up into one of our venues and it works well, we can leave it there for a little bit until our clientele needs a change, and then instead of having to find a whole new menu and train a whole new set of staff, we can swap it out. We can put the hot dogs in there for a bit. We have a community event happening at one of our venues. We can send our food traders along. For example, at the brewery, at Good Chemistry, we have the East Bristol Brewery Trail twice a year. Now our food vendors can go and service that event. You know, we have thousands of people coming to the brewery that day. We can service them with some really good food as well. We don't have to go external to do it. We can keep that revenue, generate it. It can feed into the whole group, and we can make ourselves healthier and more profitable and more efficient. I mean, that is a sensible thing to do from a business point of view. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, Mark, how do I do that within my business? It's like, well, you do have to have some scale. There isn't any way around it. You have to have some scale to have the opportunity to do that. Arthur and Martha sat over here in the Dog and Duck. They could do this and they could genuinely grow, but they're gonna have to do it from a much smaller base. So they could put their own pop-up into their one venue, and they could, in theory, grow that out, and then they could get a mobile that takes it out there, and you could grow it up. But we're lucky, we're not starting from that point. We'd already grown some venues before we decided to do this, because we've done food before in places and it hasn't worked. Sometimes that's venue based. We have a venue called The Crown we do this wonderful pizzas in there, but that's all we do, because that's all anybody wants to eat there, because it's a very late night venue and people just want a bit of beer munch. So to have a pizza slice, by the slice, New York style, in a hot cupboard is great. And we don't try and do that anywhere else. We just leave that there. And we've tried everything in that place. We've tried the burger pop-up, we've tried Pub Classics menu going back a few years. Nothing really worked, because the clientele were telling us, we don't want to eat in this venue at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We want to eat in this venue at 11 o'clock at night. So we found a way to service that. In a more conventional menu, like the Coliseum where we're sat today, they need a pop-up. They need a pop-up to come in here and service this clientele. People are quite happy to come here at 5, 6 o'clock at night and eat before they go on somewhere else, or even eat because they come here. We give them a really high quality but fast option, and that option is suited to the venue that we're in. Now, this creates a flywheel effect. So one hand washes the other every time, and we are better all across the group. So yeah, food's really important, but it has to work for us, because as I said before, soggy fish and chips, manky old pie and chips isn't going to cut it anymore, because you out there, the consumer, are a lot more discerning. We're lucky we've got the scale to do it. We're lucky we can do things. Our wonderful marketing team gets the message out there to you and shows you what we can do, showcases our stuff, works with people to get our message out there, to come and try what we do. Get Dipped itself was a great example of that. We've had that unit in the market there for getting on for 6 years now. So we bought the lease on the unit just post-COVID, and it's a great. If anybody's ever been to Bristol, they'll probably gone to St Nicholas Market. It's our Covent Garden, it's our Borough Market. It's all wrapped up into one. You've got wonderful, like arts, crafts, gifts, and a great food offer in there. There's some wonderful things you can eat there, and we wanted to be part of that. But we've tried 2 iterations of that in 6 years to try and make it work, and it wasn't until we landed on Get Dipped, which is our French dip baguette offering, that we had a hit. That's really important, that stands alone but still feeds into what we do over here. We've got a great location there and a great place to showcase our food. We use Good Chemistry products in some of the gravies, so we try and integrate everything we've got together. But it serves as part of this flywheel to say, oh yeah, Get Dipped, those are the guys. Oh, Good Chemistry, yeah, those are the guys. Oh yeah, they're the guys that do this over here. Oh yeah, maybe we've got this event coming up, maybe we could get one of their food brands down. You can see how all of these things serve on this flywheel to make our whole organisation bigger. Some would say better, but I would say more stable, because in hard times, which we're in at the moment, it's hard to keep consistent turnover going. So you have to work doubly hard, triply hard probably to do that. And the flywheel effect that we get off our food brands helps that. So next time you're at a festival and you see Get Dipped, or you maybe see good chemistry across in the bar there, or you see really good burgers, or you see all three of them, or four of them. You know, we have a loaded fries brand called El Papa Loco that we do as well. When you see them, all four of them stood together, you'd think to yourself, that's reasonably smart. They're maximising what they can do. That's what we aim to do all the time. But overall, food in venues is incredibly important, but you have to make it work for you, not just have food for food's sake, because you're never going to satisfy your customer, and ultimately you're never going to satisfy your ambitions if you do it that way. So this is why we do it this way.